So Wattled is trying to find a hunt. Now he's found one. Alundra. He's found his hunt. He's been gathering wood early, but see what our player's going to go for. They're going to go spears. I don't think they would want to on a map like this, unless they're going for some kind of proxy. And even then, you generally either want to get a town center or a dock anyway if you're proxying, just to really feed it for 3 and 4 production building production. Otherwise, you really start to struggle. And I mean, you take forever to actually properly fund 3 building production and then add a 4th. So if your opponent's playing greedy, you end up losing if you don't kill anything. So I can imagine our players maybe in for the long haul here. Unless the water is really decisive, and then someone just booms up really well off and the other player doesn't happen to defend well through it. Depends on a lot of things. So WattledPizza's taken hunting dogs. Alundra, no eco-tech just yet. So he's banking up the wood. For the moment, he's playing Indians, so he can't do some wicked proxy. Wattled can, but it looks more like he's going for a dock, considering he's sending a villager. And he needs 125. As does our Indian Spire. So I don't know if Wattled's actually seen where Alundra's going to dock. Alundra, so far unaware of Wattled's dock at the moment. But you can imagine on a map like this, they're going to be going for it. This one's really fallen out of competitive interest for a long time. It is quite a big map, but I think it's been made smaller and had the water made smaller as well. Unless this lake is normally a little bit larger than this. These resources are sort of cutting into it. Yeah, I think Recon or PF2K might have actually adjusted the size of the map. So, Alundra, gonna go fishing. Wattled gonna go fishing. So Wattled, our Norse player here in the red trunk. Sorry, I didn't properly introduce our players this game. Alundra, Indians, yellow trunks here. Alundra backing up from a previous game against myself. Wattled, we haven't seen him for a while, around the era of Roman Celeste Colosseum. I think he played around then. A little bit before, a little bit after. Wattled going double docks here. So, he's really potentially quite greedy, but at the same time, if he's able to age up behind this, does give him the potential for double warship production. He might only be going for the 2 fishing boats to start with. Alundra, in the meanwhile, he's gone 1 boat, hasn't really added any more yet. Might just be going for some kind of, yeah, land attack here. He's going to go for the barracks, which is an interesting choice to get it at home, because it's going to take a while to actually push. And well, Wattled's gone up to 2 boats, 2 docks. This is interesting. He's putting his longhouse up here, and I mean, you can distance gather with the villager to the berries, the trees, the fishing, and he can put a forward base up here, considering he is Norse. So Wattled is pop capped at the moment. Oh, there we go. He's uncapped. He's going to get more fishing boats. He's got a lot of food in the bank. He doesn't actually need to gather so much at the moment. Well, Alundra aging up and getting spears, so he's making use of the resources he's got. He hasn't got as much eco at the moment. Actually, no, he does, because he hasn't been population blocked. Alundra only has the 1 boat. He's just had better Vil production through all this, and he's now getting spearmen. Doesn't seem to be aware of Wattled's eco up here though, so Wattled can afford to be pushed off this. In fact, it's probably a good idea if he is, because it forces him to think about what he actually needs here. And right now, that isn't actually food. The 4 boats, which is good. Like, this is a great boom, but right now he should have nothing on the land on food. He's aging up. He's got 500 food in the bank. So he's already got enough for handsaw. He's already got enough for villagers for the next 25 minutes. Well, not quite, but you know what I mean. Alundra spending well. He's also banking a little bit too much food, but at the same time he's back to 2 food gatherers, and that's just these guys here. Waddle going for an outpost, but Alundra, well, he sees it. He's going for a safe TC on this gold mine. There's not really much gold here for Alundra. It is quite forward as well. Actually, Waddled really does... I should have picked up on this. Waddle's got 1, 2, 3, 4 golds. These are neutral and still slightly favouring Waddle. He has been forced off the storehouse here. Didn't realise, but Alundra is really going to get screwed by golds here. Sometimes I just do not pay enough attention to that. So Waddle denied hunt, but he still has 5 fishing boats. Doesn't have a huge amount of other resources at the moment. He's got access to stables units, so he's going to be able to get raiders, but they are countered by spears. So Alundra aged up 2 TC. His eco will be really starting to pull ahead of Waddled. He can probably restart fishing boat production or even go for a warship. Neither player... Oh, well, Waddled's aware of Alundra's water. Not doing anything about it yet. He's adding more boats, but he's not adding any longships at the moment. The raiders, they'll be able to cover a lot of ground. It's a big map. And Alundra got baited in there by the raiders. We have Taranga, but you're going to fulfill the same role as the raiders at this stage. And when Alundra goes to age 3, they will actually really overpower the raiders too, because they'll have a champion upgrade that turns them basically into a reverse camel. They go from countering range to countering range and cavalry, just like champion camels and Ekes. Those camels counter cavalry and then switch to countering range as well after. So this is a good catch here for Waddle, but I think Alundra actually, if he had Loom, he genuinely could have this try and fight that. Let's bring a spearman over. Hasn't really produced a lot of army. Waddle's eco is looking good, but he's population capped at the moment. He's waiting on that next longhouse. He has so much food in the bank, and I think he's only fishing at the moment, which is what he wants to be doing in this situation. He's gone triple production, not gathering a huge amount of stone yet, so we'll be looking to try and fight, deal some damage with the raiders. Alundra keeps cleaning up all these outposts that he's trying to go for, which is smart for Alundra because it is costing Waddled more than it costs the other civs as a Norse player. Oh, don't send it back that way. He's going to convert it back. Oh, Waddled, how did you do that? This is a good trade for Alundra. Spearman versus Raider, that's definitely the value that he's looking for right now. So Waddled's having a retreat. 33 vills to 40. So Waddled's still on 2 TC for the moment. He's just going to get a lot of war dogs here. So this is an interesting unit choice. They'll be good against Taranga, don't get me wrong. But they're also not overly tanky. Waddled losing a couple of units here, so I think the fact that he hasn't really harassed Alundra's eco as much as he'd liked here, because Alundra's gathering pretty safe. I think this has really started to hurt this 2 TC. No, this 1 TC attempt here. So Waddle is going age 3, but it's a big resource commitment to make when you've only got 35 eco population. Like right now, he actually probably could be about 90 or 100 population if he just spent all this really well and had, you know, had a range, had another stables. But right now, or, you know, could just transition to 2 TC before it's not too late. Like, obviously he's down 13 villages now, but if he did the TC a little bit further back, he could contain that to about 5 to 10. So Alundra, a lot of Taranga there, and they can actually clean up most of these there, but at the same time, Wattlet is putting together quite the army here. While he's running like that, that's going to take a bit of extra damage. He wants to go for the dock here. I'm surprised Wattlet hasn't actually gone for any warships. He's known about Alundra's water the whole time. And this is good for Alundra. He's cleaning up a lot of units, but don't engage. Wattlet is possibly going to be able to take out this dock with Alundra sending that many Taranga away. Admittedly, his own army isn't massive. His eco count is pretty good. But Alundra's not attempting to repair the dock, so these boats are going to be dead weight population in a sec. Which would be good for Wattlet. And he is age 3. He's getting Horseman, he's getting Throwing Axeman Champion. So it's a really good upgrade for a backline. And the Horsemen are going to be able to fight against pretty much everything here. But Wattlet's going to lose too much trying to back out here, I think. He's maintaining dog production pretty easily, but there we go. He's got another stables now. But he needs to be able to clean up this army from Alundra. He's turning around to engage, but the Throwing Axemen don't do a lot to the Taranga. The dogs just don't have the health to actually last there. You need to have some spearmen or have a lot of horsemen in the mix now. Horsemen should beat Taranga, because they are a dedicated anti-cav. Whereas these hybrid guys, which are eventually anti-cav, but only once Alundra actually has champion upgrade for them. I don't think they're as beefy, as hard-hitting. They're an age 2 unit ultimately. So Wattlet's going to try and raid with the dogs, but I don't think it's going to pan out as well as he's hoping. It's not going to be the Hail Mary that he's looking for here. A handful of berserkers and horsemen would probably be the way to go. He does have that massive fishing eco, and that's really keeping him in the game here, because he's been sitting on 1 TC for so long. That villager. He's going to survive. Oh, Alundra does take it out. Staying just to get it. Sending a message. Now Wattlet's population capped. Kill that one Taranga, what the hell? He's not your friend. Alundra really starting to surge forward. He's only an age 2 here, but he's a much bigger eco than his opponent. He's starting to get... Oh no, Wattlet's starting to get armory upgrades at the moment. Going for a quick temper, which is what you want, but Alundra's already got temper and scale mail, so... Does have the upper hand with upgrades there, and a lot more in the bank. 55 eco pop to 40. So he's doing quite well on that front. The dogs are being picked off by Taranga, so they're not even beating their actual... the units that they counter, because... I mean, they are a nice supporting unit, but you do need to get a couple of spears or a couple of raiders in the mix to actually really win that fight. So Wattlet winning at the top here. He has plenty of dogs. But Alundra still up by about 20 pop here. Starting to get monkeys in the mix. Nice kiting here by Wattlet, and the fact he's got horseman spearmen here. It's tough for the Taranga that don't have champion to deal with at the moment. Wattlet is actually really denying Alundra's fishing eco, and he's not even repairing through this. Like, dogs are an easy unit to clean up in this situation. Alundra let that go when he didn't need to. Like, he could have just repaired through that, have one boat killing the dogs. Like, they've got 80 health. Like, the fishing ship will destroy them. I'm just sending forward his army. Waddle trying to bring everything together, but he is losing a bit in the process. That one monkey's actually trying to beat that throwing axeman down, but he's a bit unsuccessful. Alundra getting age 3. He has started adding a few gather alleys, and he's going to clean up a Taranga there, but he's going to lose a few dogs, Waddle. Now they're definitely much cheaper at it's at 110 resources to 25. Are they 25 or 30? I thought they got nerfed and made 30. So Alundra cleaning that up, which is relieving for him. 47 to 65, eco favouring Alundra, even though his fishing is out of action at the moment. He's aware his opponent's fishing pretty heavily too. Wattled now, getting iron smelting on the way, so he is actually gonna have that upgrade faster than Alundra. Wattle's now on the point where he's on even parity in upgrades. He's about to be ahead on them. Though Alundra is going to get Taranga Champion, so this is an upgrade he's been looking for a while. Wattle converting those sacred cows, but only momentarily, so it didn't really amount to much gold loss there for Alundra. So Alundra needs to get access to gold somewhere. He's got one here, and he has one here up the top, and one over the back. So I didn't realize he does actually have a couple more golds than I thought. But Wattled is controlling some of them really well. But now Alundra's army size is just starting to get too much for him to handle, even with water advantage, because he's only 1 TC. Wattle's starting to run out of steam here. Alundra with plenty in the queue, and Wattle, yeah, he's starting to really run dry on gold. He does only have 50 eco to the 73 of Alundra. Even the fishing boats trying to support the army, but there just isn't enough fishing boats here in the back line to kill everything. Shield room here for Wattled, because Alundra's just starting to bump up that bowman count. Getting Garda Warrior Champ as well, so giving them ignore armor and health. It's a pretty big upgrade there. Wattle does have his armory upgrade advantage, but it'll soon disappear on him. Now one of the docks falls, and most of the fishing boats have been killed off as well. Wattle has managed to steal one of the sacred cows though. I think he deserves the winner's reward just for that. That's it, show's over. Wattled wins. A few berserkers now, but his water eco is collapsing. He's getting the second TC, and we are 18 minutes into the game. Now, this isn't Age of Empires 2. This is a game where you're sort of expected to have a TC at about 4 to 8 minutes. And by 8 minutes, I mean after like a spear rush and dock opening. Berserkers are a really handy unit to have, but there's no bowman to really provide that nice backline damage. Throwing axemen are good, but they're not as good against the cavalry, the Taranga, as say bowman units. Nice front line. The cleave is doing a lot of damage, but the Indian army is just holding up. A lot of low units in the mix there for Alundra, but Wattle just doesn't have a lot left now. A bunch of berserkers and a few more throwing axemen being made, but there's no cavalry, no ranged units on the way at the moment. Horseman Bowman is probably going to be Wattled's way out of this, really, because the Berserkers are just running into the Garter front line and just getting killed. I'm just going to start focusing down structures. You can take out the armory as well. That really sets back Wattled. He can't get upgrades. Oh, actually, he does have another one here. Townsend are able to clean up a couple of units. The Horseman and the Berserker going down. Pretty big losses when you're already behind. Very expensive units. I'm trying to make some buildings here, but while he's doing this, he's only got half his army actually fighting. He needs the damage from those throwing axemen. And Alundra's just proving to be a constant pest here. Continually having those bowmen get damage off, which is what he wants to achieve at the moment, particularly on the infantry and the Berserkers. If he can clean those up, even the throwing axemen, though that's a bit harder to do because the Norse player has them sitting at the back, but armory falling. Alundra looking pretty solid here in age 3. He does need to get a little bit more gold and he can start to go to age 4. He's got a lot of his upgrades already. Doesn't have any ranged armor because he right now hasn't needed it so far. Wattled hasn't forced his hand on that at all. And GG, Alundra takes the game.